Hello backyard mechanics. Well, today what we're going to do, we're going to change the brake fluid in the Wrangler. Yeah, we're going to change it. The experts say that these days the current .3 brake fluid that's used, there was a .2 some time ago. I don't know if there's any vehicle using it, and it has to be really old. But anyway, they say it should be changed regularly. And ever since I bought a new pickup in '03, I had read that and heard that that's a good thing to do. Prior to '03, I never heard of such a thing. Did a little research, and they said back in the old days what they used for brake fluid was actually castor oil. And it did not need to be changed, lasts forever. But the current batch of .3 brake fluid that they use these days, it tends to absorb water. Somehow it absorbs moisture within a sealed system. How it absorbs water, which is a liquid, into the system, but it doesn't leak brake fluid, which is a liquid, out of the system, beats me. But it's the latest rage, and it doesn't cost much to do it. And I bought a kit from our friends at Harbor Freight with a couple of really useful tools to make this a real easy job. So let's do it. And I even read somewhere some fool said you should be done yearly. I think that's a little overkill, so I don't want to do it yearly. But well, my Jeep's 5 years old now, and as it's coming up on 50,000 miles. It's probably time to do it. You don't want all the brake caliper pistons and all that sort of thing to get any corrosion going on in there. So we'll do it just as a preventative maintenance step and hope it makes everything last forever. Alright, let's get to work. Okay, so here's the contents of the kit. You got a big bottle and a little bottle. The little bottle you will fill with brake fluid, and you got a valve here, turn it off, and you have 3 adapters here for different size master cylinder reservoirs. And what you're going to do is going to take the cap off your master cylinder reservoir, turn this thing over, and it goes in, and this thing kind of locks in place. And it just sits in there with full of fluid. And you open the valve, and as you drain brake fluid out of each wheel cylinder, this here replenishes your master cylinder, because you don't want to run out of oil in your master cylinder. It'll induce air, and then you get to bleed the whole system. So the genius of the whole kit is this little guy right here, the big bottle, and you're going to need an air compressor or some source of air. You know, auto parts stores, they do sell like a 10-gallon steel air tank, and you go to the gas station, fill it up, you hook it up to here, and as you squeeze this thing, air just goes through here, just discharges into the atmosphere. And but there's a venturi in here, and a venturi creates a vacuum, and then the vacuum will be applied to this line. And so this hose here, and what you're going to do, you're just going to pop this onto your bleed valve at each wheel, one by one. Squeeze this, and it's going to create a vacuum, and it's going to suck the brake fluid out of your wheel cylinder. And you start at the farthest one, which will be your right rear, and you'll suck the brake fluid out of the brake cylinder, the master cylinder, all through the lines, all the way to the length of the car, all the way back to the right rear tire, and out into here. And then all this bottle does, that just disposes or stores your used oil. And then you go wheel to wheel to wheel and do the same thing. But between each wheel, every time you change a wheel, come up here and check this thing, make sure it's not empty. And that right rear one is the farthest one from the brake cylinder, and that one will take you the longest. That has the longest run of brake line, and it's going to take you a while to do that one. but each one will be quicker till you get to the left front, which is right underneath the brake fluid, master brake cylinder. And comes with a manual. There's also safety warnings in there, tells you all the different ways this tool can kill you. Comes with 3 of these adapters, and I guess that's all you should ever need, those 3. But this one fits my Jeep. Now when I get done, I'm going to take the whole thing back to Harbor, and I'm going to pick out a toolbox and put all this stuff in a toolbox. Buy one that'll fit. That's why I got to take it with me so I know which one to get that'll fit it all, and in that way it'll last forever. And that's about it. And so let's quit jaw-jacking and let's get to working. So I went to the auto parts store and I bought 2 fresh bottles of this. I couldn't believe how many varieties there were, different brands. There were about 7 different kinds down there. This was like $8 a bottle, and they had some as much as $14. And when I checked out, I told the cashier guy that I'd been reading where some people recommend changing this yearly. It turned out the guy, he's a mechanic. Oh yeah, he said he really should do that. Something about the in the wheel cylinders, the brake cylinders at each wheel, he said you can see when you take all that stuff apart, you can see where the moisture has gotten in. It still baffles me how the hell moisture can get into a sealed system, but the brake fluid itself cannot get out. I don't know, but we'll change this stuff just to be on the safe side. And the last thing you want to do when you're out on the road is lose your brakes. Okay, so the first thing we're going to want to do, we're going to clean all the dirt from around this thing, because you don't want to get any dirt into the reservoir. Okay, looks pretty good. Now I don't know if you've ever noticed or not, but on these things, see, they'll stick out and then they'll go in there. So what happens as your level goes down, this thing will pop out and it'll decrease some of the air space in here. I've looked at noticed these on this kind of a rubber thing inside every vehicle I've had for years and years. So it's pretty neat little operation. So what you want to take a turkey baster and what you want to do, you just want to suck out as much of this as you can. You know, I see this reservoir, it's tipped down in the front. There's not going to be any way to doesn't matter. The only reason we're sucking this out is just less that we're going to have to yeah, about all I can get. Take a look how dark that is. I don't think it's supposed to be that dark. And now when you open these things, don't let any of this metal seal get down into the bottom. Cause a mess if you end up with a piece of that in your brake reservoir. Just carefully peel it off. This little piece looks like it's just waiting to fall off. Okay, there we go. Now, if you look down in that bottle, you notice the color of it. That doesn't look anywhere near as dark as the oil that came out of there. Alright, so take our bottle. Just fill it right to the brim. Oh yeah, look at that oil. Gosh, that's absolutely clear. You know what you could do? Just tip this. Of course, maybe you shouldn't do it that way. Okay. Put our cap on there. Alright. I was just thinking, I wonder if this would be better done with my old brake fluid to do the flushing part, but do the refilling with new. I don't know. Well, I filled it right to the very brim. There. Ah. There it goes. Okay. Alright, let's get underneath the truck. Let's get to it. Okay, so here we are looking at the brake caliper. Now this is the right rear. You want to start with the farthest brake from the master cylinder. Now they see they got a nice rubber cap on here. Just pull that off. That's our bleeder valve. This thing may actually be metric. No, there it is. 7/16. Okay, that's all we're gonna need. So you don't need a ratchet on this thing. Get it positioned. There we go. Just open it and close it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to take my little fitting. Go up there. That's a pretty good size. There you go, right there. Just open it. You're gonna want to watch these lines. Here it comes. Watch for it to turn clear. Going into the bottle. Pretty brown, isn't it? Doesn't seem to be getting any clearer. At least not much clearer, as far as I can tell. Well, we got to empty out the rest of the reservoir first. Actually, it looks like it's clearing now. It's a lot clearer now, yeah. Okay, and there's how much we got in the bottle. Okay. Let's go refill the reservoir. Okay, so before we refill the reservoir, close our valve, pull our hose off, get our wrench off, then put our cap back on. Now we'll go fill the reservoir. We're back in the reservoir, and I can see it only used this little bitty bit, so no need to refill it. So now we just go do the left rear. Take off our little plug cap. There we go. Put on our little wrench. There we go. Okay, that'll give us a stroke. Get our bottle. Oil that. So it makes it easier to put it on there. There we go. And open our valve. Now you just watch the hose. Looked to me like it immediately cleared, went from brown to darker brown to lighter brown. No, it's kind of amber. I'm gonna go ahead and pump a bunch. Pull a bunch of it out, just to rinse out the brake linings. Looks like my bottle's leaking. Didn't have it tight enough, I guess. That's good. Pull off our fitting. Pull off my wrench. Get my plug on. Alright, so now we go to front right. Okay, so now we're on the right front. Take our rubber cap off. Get our wrench on. Make sure you got nice free stroke on there, on the wrench. Give me a little oil. Get my doodad on there. Just watch the hose. Let's see. Alright, I'm going to call that good. Right there. Get it off, pull this off. Let's do the last one. Okay, now we're at the right front, the nearest to the reservoir. Clear already. Now I'll do it. Okay, close our wrench. Pull our hose off. Put our cap, oops, get our wrench off. Cap back on. And that'll do for this corner. Okay, so we close our valve. We're almost filled up. Actually, we could use a little bit. There we go. So see, we got that pretty much full. Put on our cap. Okay, so anyway, so we got our cap on. Wipe this off. And that'll do it. Okay, home mechanics, so that's all it takes. I think it took me about an hour and a half to get all 4 wheels done, and that Harbor Freight kit sure made it easy. Alright, we'll see you in the next video.